Welcome into the Moi Ploy Boys Dynasty Podcast, the greatest podcast that you didn't want or ask for. And now introducing your hosts, Jake the Gluten-Free Karras and Peter Cheater Pigoo Hot Sizzle O'Donnell.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men who act like children of all ages, it's been a while. Welcome back to the Moi Ploy Dynasty Boys Podcast, the greatest podcast that you did not want or ask for. Let's talk about the state of our league. We're going to be talking the Moi Ploy Dynasty Boys Sleeper Power Rankings. All right. So in order to talk about the power rankings, we first need to talk about the standings. So I'm going to share with you guys a little shum. I believe it's this one. Boom. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Here are the current standings in Sleeper. In last place, Rich, followed up by Juan, then Peter, Jordan, Brett, myself, Eddie, Tom, and then the Mertz Bros chilling at the top. The way that the power rankings are going to be, the way it's going to work is based on your, essentially, the players on your team. Your picks have no influence over the current power rankings. Starting lineup is weighted over depth because, again, this is simply power rankings. How able are you to go out and get a win? What is the likelihood that you're going to beat your fellow teammates? Now, we're going to go ahead and start at the unsurprising bottom. Our boy, softball guy, Rich. Let's pour one out for your team here.
We all know softball guy. A lot of you are softball guy. Let me very quickly take you through softball guy.
My boy Rich had a couple of really rough breaks. He went and got Javonte Williams, who was immediately injured. Then I believe he also had DeAndre Swift, and last year we all know how Swift did. Then he traded for Jamison Williams, who missed the entire year basically, and then gets suspended again this year. So it's just been incredibly bad luck. And then even if he did have those guys, if those guys did hit, Joe Burrow has been playing like poop on a stick. He's got 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. That's it. He hasn't broke 300 yards yet. God, his first game he had 82. He didn't even break 100. It's just been abysmal for the Bengals. Now, Rich does have a couple guys on his team that can put up points, guys like Calvin Ridley, Najee Harris, Baker Mayfield. I'm not going to include Zach Wilson in that. So he's got a couple of, in Joe Burrow eventually once he gets right, who can put up points. He's got a good foundation to build from, especially with Joe Burrow. And if you want to keep Najee and Calvin Ridley to try and compete next year and see what happens after you spend these picks that you're going to have here. Now, what I think is most likely is that you're in for a 2-year rebuild here. So you're rebuilding this year and next year. Now, Juan, Peter, Jordan, and Brett are all kind of in a similar cluster here. I am going to put Brett and Jordan well ahead of Juan and Peter now. So that really comes down to who is going to be in second to last place between Juan and Peter. I think I have to give the nod here to Peter. I think he is in 9th place in the power rankings for now, due to the fact that Jalen Waddle has been bad. Jahan Dotson did not take a step forward. Alexander Madison has been quite pedestrian. Kenneth Gainwell is in a firm timeshare with an emerging DeAndre Swift. None of his rookie picks have really been hitting big time here. His big saving grace is basically Justin Herbert. Brandon Ayuk as well. Brandon Ayuk and Justin Herbert are kind of the 2 guys that are really carrying Peter's team at the moment. Beyond that, there's not a lot coming off the bench. Rashad White's on bye this week, but like Claypool didn't work out. Jackson Smith-Njigba's not doing anything. Hunter Henry's been a bit of a revelation, I suppose, but like, I don't know, 2 good weeks and then kind of crap after that. So yeah, I believe that with the lack of help coming off the bench from Peter, I feel like that firmly puts him behind Juan, who has elite assets like Josh Allen, and Juan is in 8th place here. Alvin Kamara's coming back. Deebo Samuel's going to be healthy again at some point. Please, dear God, get Samaje Perine out of your lineup. Yeah, you've got other guys like you could trot out Alec Pierce. Amari Cooper's on bye. You've got Mike Evans who's out. Like you've got guys. That you could go be putting out there. So I really like the elite upside of Trevor Lawrence and Josh Allen combined with Montgomery, Kamara as a solid 1-2 running back duo. I think Juan is a team that I would look for to be on the rise. Now, currently, we have the next tier that I would call of Brett and Jordan. Who is going to be in that 7th place for the power rankings? I'm going to go ahead and say that it is... It's tough. I just think I have to put Brett here for now. I think I have to put Brett in 7th place in the power rankings just because of the lack of truly like desirable depth coming off his bench. He just doesn't have a lot there. And he's been really unfortunate with injuries. Kyler Murray, J.K. Dobbins, Jeff Wilson, like these were all assets he was counting on going into, maybe not Kyler, but like during the startup draft, you were counting on these guys to be assets for you in this season, and that did not work out that way. It just didn't. It really sucks. But you have gotten a little bit lucky on guys like Tutu. I feel like Robert Woods should have been dust, but like, I mean, he's not doing anything, but like, you know, he's getting some usable fantasy days. Nothing you're excited about. Curtis Samuel last week was incredible. So like you're getting production from some unexpected places, and that's kind of what you have to do in Dynasty is you have to be able to capitalize on unexpected production. Now, what does worry me about this team is the lack of quarterback depth. If Kyler misses more time, Mac Jones is he's on thin ice in New England. I really thought that Mac Jones was I thought he was a buy. He was a guy I was interested in. He was a guy I wanted. But if he doesn't have a job, I don't want him. It's basically what it comes down to. Now, I really feel like these numbers here, like his yardage totals, especially from his rookie season, they're actually very comparable to early career Tom Brady. Now, I know, like, Mac Jones is a Patriot, Tom Brady's a Patriot. They're the same person. No, I get that. But, like, Tom Brady's early careers were not good. I think the problem that Mac Jones is running into is he does not have an elite defense. He does not have an absolutely terrible division around him. And he does not have any sort of like any playmakers whatsoever to kind of keep him afloat. Like early career Tom Brady was winning games, not because of what he was doing, but because he was basically a game manager who's averaging slightly less than 1 interception per game. And Mac Jones has been doing the same, but the problem is he doesn't have an elite defense to carry him to win these games. So I think it's unfair, but I think that Mac Jones could very well be in the hot seat. Plus the coaching fiasco that was the Patriots offensive coordinator situation last year. I have no idea how anyone thought that was a good idea. That's apart from the fact that a professional organization pulled that off. It's like real life Ted Lasso. Like, here, let's hire a coach who doesn't know how to do the job. That'll be great. Morons, wankers. All right. We're going to put Jay Chall in the 6th spot here. Jordan Chall overall at number 6. Jay Chall's got a pretty sweet team here. As far as being young, well, he just needs to translate that youth into fantasy points. Now, Justin Fields looks to have found the missing formula to get a little bit of fantasy success going. He's having a good game currently. He had a great game last year. They are stomping the Commanders right now. I like ETN. Hopefully he gets it going. Jahmyr Gibbs. Look, look, I love, there's a podcast that I absolutely love, the Fantasy Footballers, and they were talking about how much better, how much more explosive David Montgomery is on the ground than Jahmyr Gibbs, how he's actually hitting the holes and he's making the right decisions. And I'm like, 6, 2.4, sure, it's bad. 4.7, 5 yards per carry. Let's look at David Montgomery. This is blind. I just got a feeling here. Oh yeah, he's only broken 4 yards per carry once, and he's averaging 3.8. Now, what was Gibbs averaging when he touches the ball? Oh, almost an entire yard per carry higher. Yeah, so I don't get that argument that David Montgomery is so much better than playing so much better than Jahmyr Gibbs right now. It doesn't make sense. It's untrue, and it pisses me the fuck off because he's more explosive. He's better. He's getting more yards per carry. I don't understand what the hell they're talking about, frankly. I love those guys, but that was one of the stupidest things I've ever heard them say. The stats are right there, guys. Go look. Justin Jefferson, great. T. Higgins, Pittman, Yeah, it's a pretty stacked team, but there's none of those besides Justin Jefferson, there's not really any round one redraft assets here. If we were to do a redraft league, only Justin Jefferson would go in the first 2 rounds. None of these other guys are going in the first 2 rounds. And that's why I don't think Jordan Chall deserves to be any higher than number 7 or number 6 on this list. My team is up. I'm going to go ahead and put myself in 5th here. I think my team has been tremendously disappointing. Richardson has been an absolute gem. Love that I own him in Dynasty. Bijan's been fine. I've been waiting for the big 30, 40-point explosion game. Still waiting. Tony P has been cooling down as the season has progressed. A.J. Brown has been going the opposite direction, has been getting better and better. So I basically have 1, 2, 3, 4 assets that I'm really thrilled with. Richardson, Robinson, Pollard, Brown. Now, everyone else is if we're doing redraft, everybody else is 8th round or later. If you were to do a redraft league and start it right now, no one's taking Breece Hall. Garrett Wilson's going super late. Pickens is going super late. Laporte is going super late. Thomas is going super late. Flowers, they're all going super late. The guys on my bench, I've got a really, really deep bench. That's probably my only saving grace as we come into bye weeks and an injury season. But yeah, ultimately, a lot of my draft picks have not been working out. I've got a 50% hit rate, and the guys that are hitting, guys like Drake London, they're only sort of hitting. Do you want to start Drake London in a redraft league? No, not really. If you have anyone better, you definitely would start him. Next up, I believe that this is a great place for Eddie's team. Eddie is a guy who pushed all of the chips into the middle. He just made a brilliant trade, a trade I really liked, to go get Miles Sanders. Trades away a future first, but also somehow gets back a second. And then the thirds we really don't care about until you are in a true rebuild mode. Now, and he's got plenty of time to go and trade for thirds later. Now, I think Sanders does add a bit of necessary depth. He's had a couple of really lucky hits, guys like Puka Nacua has been great. I expect Derrick Henry to recover as the season goes on. Ramondre Stevenson, I'm concerned with because he's been playing like ass. Again, there's just not a lot of help coming off the bench here. Once Deontay Johnson comes back, that'll be good for him. Chris Godwin also on the bench. There's 2 guys, I suppose, that you would be interested in starting. Oh, sorry, DK as well. Okay, a bit deeper than I was thinking. So, yeah, I like Eddie's team. Now we're into the 3-1s, and I've got a bit of a controversial pick here. These are the current power rankings. You have to put Jim at the top. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Jim is absolutely at the top. He's got elite QB play and Hurts. Kyron Williams has been an absolute godsend. Jim is so lucky that Kyron's working out. Tyreek Hill's doing Tyreek Hill things. Travis Kelce's starting to get back into the swing of things after blowing his knee out in training camp. Devontae Smith has been solid, very solid. Olave has been great, except for this last game. Hopefully he gets back on track. I'd love to see that snap percentage go up to 90s. I don't understand why their best offensive player is not on the field more. Seems like bad coaching. Adam Thielen, again, very lucky to be getting a lot of production out of Thielen. What is he right now? Wow. He's a wide receiver 10 right now. That's insane. He's a wide receiver 1 in this league. I don't expect that to continue. That's pretty impressive. He's my age out there doing this. All right. But the thing is, there's just not much help. There's Jonathan Taylor, who might maybe be back sometime. Could be this week. Could be not. He did make a trade for Brian Robinson. Okay, he's got a bit more depth than I thought. I forgot the B-Rob trade. And then when Zay Jones gets back to healthy, I expect Zay Jones to be a contributor coming off the bench. But otherwise, he's only got about 3 players that you really want to be using off the bench. Allen, Jones, Robinson, and I guess 4, JT. Yeah, okay. He's probably got enough juice to make it to the playoffs. Just hopefully no one important gets injured. Next up, it really comes down to the Iceman versus Scott's Tots. Now, currently, again, these are current power rankings. I do expect Jim to drop down as bye weeks kind of stack up and injuries start to plague a team that doesn't have depth. So I would expect Jim to drop down. However, now I got to give it to Ray at number 2. He is just his team is so incredibly deep. His big hole is his QB2. It's just abysmal. It's like, hey, do you want to start Kenny Shickett or Shesman Shitter? Is there a choice for neither? Sorry, buddy. You can also start Damian Pierce if you want to. No, I'm good. Maybe Jerome Ford, I guess, but I don't know. I'm not thrilled to start any of those guys. Yeah, but anyway, Ray's got a great team with a lot of depth, very usable guys coming off. It's just the super flex position is his main weakness at the moment. Now, Tom is a team with only weakness being starting depth. When you're trotting out guys like Tyler Boyd and Alan Lazard, it's not a great feeling. And that has mostly been because Barkley and Eckler have been out. As soon as they come back, I do very much expect that the Iceman will be back in full swing. And Cooper Kupp's coming back soon. Yay! Mike Williams, probably a career-ending injury there because he'll be 30 next year. Yikes. Why is he on your taxi squad, dog? You've got 2 bench spots. I guess probably these were not on IR when the season started. But, yep, that is the power rankings. I'm going to keep it, not super short, but short-ish, sweet-ish. So, in summary, we have Jim, Ray, Tom, Eddie, myself. Then I go Jordan, Brett, Juan, Peter, Tom. Those are the power rankings as of now. Hope you guys enjoyed listening or didn't. Either way, appreciate the listen. And I will see you guys in the next one. Later.